So I'm going to go ahead and lead this toke because it's 419. So ladies, I am so excited that you're here. This is absolutely something to celebrate amidst one of the most devastating and scary times of our entire generation. There's never been a more important time for women to band together and form partnerships, relationships, camaraderie, and really change the world together. So I would love for this cheers to be a celebratory toke and cheers to you, each and every one of you who is showing up today, not only for your business or for whatever reason you're coming here today to make deals, to meet others. Really, you're showing up for yourself and creating opportunity for yourself and taking a chance by joining in something that can possibly propel you and your business forward. So cheers to all of you. Thank you so much for coming. We're really thrilled to have you here. I'm smoking on my stoned whip pipe with my Cinex. So cheers, ladies. Happy 420. The first day of the whole month of 420. And we're here, right? We are here. We are standing together and running businesses and helping connect people with the plant, helping educate consumers, and really helping push this industry forward. So this is such an exciting time to be alive. And my younger self would be laughing because I always felt like that I was born during the wrong generation. And now I'm like, oh no, I'm supposed to be here right now. We're good. Courtney, do you want to share a little bit about House of Jane and how this was formed and tell the ladies about our the event that happened at MJ Biz Con?
I would love to. So I think probably some of you were there with us in Vegas, MJ Biz Con. We had an extraordinary mansion. Over 200 women showed up. We had consumption outside. It was packed. And inside we had exhibitors so that people could walk around and talk about, what's happening with the industry, network, meet lots of really cool, enlightened women of cannabis. And it was really beautiful. And we said, well, this was fantastic. When can we do this again? As community leaders, this is a really great time to step forward and create a space for women to come online and feel safe and, just socialize and have a moment to kind of connect when we've all been in quarantine. So this is our quarantine cam. We're coming together virtually. This is the virtual House of Jane. And this is an event series in partnership with Tokeativity and Women Empowered in Cannabis and White Buffalo events. We're really enthusiastic about the opportunity of continuing to grow the House of Jane. So the intention is that we will be having additional iterations and we'll be going to different locations. So perhaps that location's near you. With Tokeativity and Women Empowered in Cannabis, these are international global organizations. So potentially we'll be, visiting our friends in Spain one day. So we do have some amazing speakers here for you today. We wanted to kind of just touch on what's happening with the industry in terms of supply chain and just hear from women in different parts of the country and hear their perspectives on what's happening.
We are very happy to have Manndie Tingler. She is the COO of Khemia. They are a manufacturing company that is woman-owned and focused in Sacramento. She does business development for Natura, which if you do not know about this company, you must check it out. They have a massive campus in Sacramento. They are really working hard to get as many women-owned businesses manufacturing as they can. And she's also a board member for the NCIA, which is an association that we all are very, very dependent on to lobby for us. So she's got a really incredible insight and perspective on what's happening on the supply chain. Manndie is with Khemia and Natura. So, all right, Manndie, I'm going to let you take it away. Thank you so much for sharing your perspective with us today.
Well, it's an exciting time in our industry. The entire supply chain in California just locked up. Everybody didn't know what to do. They were worried about being sick. We had to change our internal SOPs overnight for our entire process. It was mind blowing. And then, really figuring out as a young business owner, how are we going to do this and do right by our staff. So we're keeping a lot of other people alive, and that's all because of awesome platforms like this to network. One of the things that does not escape me every minute of every day is the fact that our industry gets to keep working. This gives us more proof as to why we should be getting banking, right? We should get access to banking because if you're putting us on the same platform as a medicine or a food as an essential good, right? Why can't we have banking like all the other essential goods? That just strengthens our argument, right? It strengthens our path. And there's so many people who are listening. There's so many. We're winning. And that's just because we keep getting stronger together.
So let's talk about the actual supply chain now. What do you see? So we experienced in California, and I think I've read this pretty much every state that said it's an essential service, and then we're locking down. There was up to 500% spike in sales.
What I've seen, and in terms of how we've really adjusted, and I think all of the dispensaries here are adjusting to a COVID reality from a supply chain standpoint, really is from a business operations standpoint, is to increase the amount of online orders. So from an e-commerce standpoint, that's seen a huge spike. Pickup and delivery. We've had to hire. We're actually on a hiring spree. That's a good news for the state of Florida.
Let's welcome our next guest, Jessie Gill. You are a nurse and a cannabis consultant. So I'm very curious to hear about your perspective about what's happening in the industry and the supply chain in particular due to the COVID-19 shutdown.
Sure. Yeah, it's been crazy over here. But you know what? Let's start by talking about China. I also own PrettyPipeShop.com, which is an online retail shop for affordable glass. And all of my product comes directly from China. And I was also running a drop shipping program prior to COVID-19. Drop shipping directly from China, and some of my pieces came directly from Wuhan. We started seeing issues in December, and it absolutely...
Jennifer, I remember you from our interview for the Women in Cannabis study. If you haven't taken this survey, I highly recommend it.
It's a study of women's experiences working in the cannabis industry, and it's an 80-question quantitative survey. We also did about 25 qualitative telephone interviews. We've had over 900 women participate in 3 countries so far. I've started analyzing the data, and it's fascinating.
I put my hand in because I wanted to ask her about if there's any differentiation for socioeconomic status, women of color, or is it just women focused? I know some of the questions I remember were like gender and orientation and so forth. Some women of color who have achieved a certain level now feel that glass ceiling more than those just entering, because when you first enter, you're just looking for a network of women to support you, and you feel so good and you feel empowered and you see all these opportunities. And then when it comes to taking like real money, that's when you start to feel, I think, that glass ceiling. So
and we need more data to make sure that we're telling a representative story. But yes, we are seeing differences in the data. I have not gone deep into comparing different sets within the whole group. I'm just at top line right now. But in my initial investigation and taking a look, yes, there are differences. But the study did focus more on gender than really anything else. And there are over 100 questions and 100 data points in this study. So I think we will get to answer that question.
This has been such a wonderful experience. We thought for the last little bit of this, we would, just kind of connect more in this form. How was networking, everybody? Was that fun?
Fun.
Thumbs up.
We also had some serious conversations.
Yeah, Courtney, why don't you tell us about it? Fill us all in now. Let's kind of like fill each other in on the cool things we discovered or learned.
We went around and talked about what's going on in our different locations and what we project will be how long COVID-19 will affect us in terms of the quarantine and how it'll affect the children, and the effect of socialization for all of us. So I just want to reiterate that I think the House of Jane is doing a really great service in providing this space. I'm so happy to be here, and I thank all of you for being here. I think there's a lot we can do together to just brighten our spirits and also potentially impact the outcome of this as a collective.